everyone. Welcome to our latest White Pod. I'm Stephen Blaine, your host with White Labs, an e-commerce marketing agency. Today's guest, we have Arya. Arya, please feel free to let our viewers know a little bit more about yourself and share your background.
Absolutely. So my name is Arya. My mother and I started an Indian boutique in Columbus, Ohio.
Awesome.
The only one in the Midwestern region other than Chicago, but Chicago is way too big. So we started this Indian boutique called Arne Boutique about 11 years ago. Because my mom had a dream to get into textiles when she was a kid, she wasn't able to. So 11 years ago, at the age of 50, she decided to start the American dream, achieve her American dream. And since childhood, I've always seen my mom indulge in various forms of art and fabric painting, rejuvenating and redesigning old clothes, henna designs, painting, and much more. And when I kept seeing her, I realized I had a passion for fashion and entrepreneurship just like her. That's what got me into the whole entrepreneurship journey, through which I have realized there's way too many components that are required in the entrepreneurship journey, such as website designing, marketing, customer service, product photography, the whole 9 yards, which nobody tells you about. So slowly and steadily, I started learning all of that. Now I'm not an expert, but I'm all right in all of those areas, including, so I learned to specialize in marketing. I come from an HR degree, got into marketing, do photography, styling, modeling, and I also design stuff with my mom. We're a team of two, but like a dream of one, to make our boutique a nationally recognized brand by sharing our exquisite culture and blending the both Indian and Western cultures into one.
Awesome. Can you tell me more about your products, Arya?
Yes. Our products vary from Indian clothing to Indian Western clothing, traditional Indian clothing to traditional Indian Western clothing, or a fusion of Indo-Western, men's, women's, jewelry, accessories, the whole 9 yards. Whatever you need, from going to an event to a wedding and the various components, we have it all.
Awesome. So most of our listeners are entrepreneurs like yourself. What are some challenges you've had in the past few years and how'd you overcome them?
A lot of the challenges we've had have been around the growing competition, which I'm sure fellow entrepreneurs can agree, growing online competition, in-house competition. By that I mean slowly but steadily, there's a lot of in-state competition as well, where you have local businesses coming up, providing the same services. So how do you differentiate yourself from others?
Of course.
And then there is the international. If you get into the e-commerce space, it's on an international level, where you're competing for first page ranks, where you're competing for customer acquisition at a very high rate compared to what it was before. I remember before, the CPA for getting a click used to be somewhere around $1, and now it varies from $20 to $30, depending on how much you want to bid.
Competition.
That's one area.
Wow,
so
yeah.
I guess we talked about two areas there. The competition in state, where you have to then distinguish yourself by going to festivals, events, and stuff to put yourself more out there. And then you have the online space. Those have been the primary challenges. Surviving COVID was very difficult as well, because everything went online and there were literally no sales. So what helped in COVID was the government grant, which we were lucky enough to get a little bit at least, which helped us just keep ourselves at par.
Well, that is positive. So who is your who is your target audience?
Our target audience varies from young generation, young American Indian generation, to aging population that's in America. One of the reasons why we came with this whole Arne Boutique brand is when I was a kid growing up. We've been in this country for 20 plus years. Wow. When I was growing, I saw a need that not everyone that's like myself wants to wear Indian clothing all the time. So how do you bring the whole Indian and Western culture together into one space and provide clothing or attire that not only represents who you are as an individual, but also has some touch of the ethnic culture? that's one of the reasons why we started this. So that's how we got into the space. I'm sorry. I think I answered your question, but I'm not 100%.
You did. You sure did. Yeah, you did. So what makes you different? Or my favorite thing is, what makes you better than your competitors?
One of our distinguishing factors primarily is our customer service. And if you look at Google and Facebook reviews, that will show you.
Mm-hmm.
Because us being
They're
my
very
mother
good.
and my mother-daughter team, our customer service is very top-notch, very different. Plus, the clothing and attire that we provide is very different from the rest of India, because we try to bring the Bollywood culture into our clothing with like a touch. And we work with local small boutiques in Mumbai, plus in Ohio, and try to, just as in the United States as a whole, to bring our products as one, which are different than the competition. So it's the differentiating products and the customer service that distinguish us.
Awesome. You've talked a lot about your products. What are your best-selling products?
Honestly speaking, it's more of like the ones that are an Indian and Western mixture. There's a beautiful gown that we have various customers that are not only Indian or American Indian, they're also Americans who are going to an Indian wedding. So those types of dresses are more like ball gowny that make you feel like the Indian princess. That's one of our best sellers. And a variety of that. So some of our outfits come with a skirt, top, scarf. So it's kind of traditional but yet modern, where we have various customers that have utilized their skirts again during the fall time frame to wear it with boots. So the way that we blend the fashion enables a customer to not only wear the outfit once, but get more uses out of it too.
Awesome. What is your future plan for yourself and the brand?
As a brand, we would like to grow out into a national brand. We also specialize in plus size clothing and stuff, so continue catering to all of American population, which comprises of all different ethnicities, not just Indian and Western.
No, it makes total sense. Are you any retail, or are you all online?
We are retail and online.
Okay. And what retail stores are you in for our listeners?
We are locally owned, and then e-commerce that I manage.
Okay. And you're based out of Ohio, correct?
Yes, Columbus, Ohio.
Awesome. So, you've mentioned some activities to promote the brand. What were some successful activities that you've done to promote the brand?
I organized fashion shows for local events. So I've organized interracial photo shoots, organized and implemented interracial photo shoots, fashion shows that get like the whole community together and get up on a stage in front of 10,000 plus people. I've also emceed at places like that. So all of these events, local events and big shows, get us out there.
Awesome.
On an e-commerce front, I've learned various tools for ads, analytics, shopping, and everything, what you need to do as an individual to get your products out there on these different forms, which has proven to be successful, which is the reason why we're still standing today, 11 years later.
That's awesome. Well, your story is amazing. It's always great to hear an entrepreneurial success story that turned to e-commerce. I love it. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you want our listeners to know about yourself and your brand?
It's an American dream story, I would say, of a mother-daughter coming together, helping each other achieve our dreams.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, and I appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Your story is amazing. I loved hearing it, and thank you so much.